Futures and options on futures trading involve substantial risk and is not a suitable investment for all types of investors. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. When I use the word I in this video, it refers to what I teach in my charting course or what I author in my twice daily oral and written updates. Prices shown on charts and quote boards are in real time and take into account all known activity up to this point in time. And if you'd like to read more of this disclaimer, simply hit the pause key on your video player.
Well, good day, all. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your Friday metals update, and this is your weekend version for the for January 5th, 2018. I almost said the wrong thing there, and here we go. You know, I had a call today from Bloomberg, actually from the CME group, wanting me to represent and speak for them about Bitcoins early in the mornings starting on Monday. I think it's going to be Bloomberg Radio because they just want an audio file of it, but I'll be giving a short synopsis of it. I intend on writing a market letter on cryptocurrencies too, so that's coming at you very quickly. Look at the big gain. The only thing that's got as much gain today, it's like the vacuum cleaners of the world now. It's the stock indices and Bitcoin taking out everything to the upside. The heck with everything else is how the markets seem to feel. We saw today a series of data come out on jobs, wage growth, and so on. Let me put it this way. You still don't have the wage growth. The stock market's in an interesting place. All cylinders are firing. You are not getting wage inflation. It's the best world for the market. It's got tax repatriation money coming back at it, and the market just gobbles everything up, and that seems to be what's going on. When you take a look at energy, it's a bit lower today, but still a 61 handle in front of crude. Come on, that's pretty good. And what we probably have going on here is the market is going to see gradually more rigs coming on, more production coming out of the U.S., but nobody has to kill the golden goose, so it's a controlled move. Will OPEC have a problem because of that? Probably, because as their crude is closer to $66, they've got to be salivating like this, going, how do I get some of that money? I'm doing all these production cuts. So there'll be problems down the road. The metal markets, well, late in the day, they're selling off a little more than they were earlier, and that's probably due to the new highs in the stock market. And as I said, the market just can't stay away from looking at Bitcoin and stock indices. When we take a look at a monthly chart of gold, and I have been showing this for a long time, as you can see, the monthly, this is the 18-month moving average of closes. Sometimes I got to get that grammar right. The 100-month is here at 342.80 as a resistance. 1342.80. That could be where the next resistance points come in, as I see it. The combination of the upper Bollinger Band and that number. Momentum is still pointing to the upside. And on the slow stochastics on monthly and weekly charts, I don't look to see if they're overbought or oversold. I just look to see how the momentum is going. And that momentum is still strong in these markets to the upside. When you come to a weekly area chart of closes, this market took off right around the time that the tax bill was passed, and it has not looked back. It has rallied now about $80 off of that low close. You can see how this has gone on a weekly chart as the market has just soared to the upside, and you're stuck with a pattern of a lower low and a higher high. Not trending. This is what we call a vertical price move. Now, I'm doing a new publication besides the crypto on price counts, and I'm writing for a group putting together 4 or 5 charts every weekend that has to do with those. For those of you that use our charting software and use what we call our QT Market Center, you'll see them in there probably. But I'm covering the gold markets, different metals all through it, interest rates, and the stock indices for the group. And as you can see, a breakout to the upside. You're over the 18-week average. You're over the big average of the 100. And if you take a look at the 200-week moving average in this gray line, well, the 100-week didn't do its good job, I think, on the weekly charts. You broke through it by quite a bit. This really did its job of overall stopping the market. And now the question is, what next? One of the things I can tell you is I look at the upper Bollinger Band, and the history of the Bollinger Band has been recently stopping either rallies or declines, and that gives me an idea that up at this 1336 in a fraction area, we should expect to see some resistance, especially if it gets there now after this vertical price rise. It's only $16 away, so it's not that far. In terms of momentum, it is still up. So what we have is a market that has upside bias, a target of the upper Bollinger Band that could be seen, on pullback support between the, make that the 18-week moving average of closes and the 100-week moving average. If we take a look at Bitcoin, and this is what the current action is, this market exploded literally early this morning, and with it, it just roared on to the 16,500 level, and it's still up at that level. Yes, that is a gain of nearly $1,400 overnight. Still very volatile. I still know a lot of firms. I'm in the building, I'm in the Board of Trade building, that refuse to allow clients to go short this market. Buying it is one thing because the client can put up literally the cash value of it if they had to, and that's their risk. Selling it, you don't know what your risk is if it goes to the upside. The gold ETF is very similar to the futures. It came down, hit the lower Bollinger Band. It is not a trend right now. It's got a lower low and a higher high, but it is certainly a vertical price rise. And in this market, the target is 126.88. Momentum is up and bias is up. The gold miners haven't had the play that the others are having. It is stuck right now against the 100-week moving average of closes. It managed to get over the 18-week. The bias is up. You have a pattern of a higher high and a lower low, and I'll still stick my neck out and say you're still stuck in this broad sideways action. From this broad action, we are going to look back and possibly say that this formed a bottom that took the better part of a year plus. And if the market can break out to the upside, the metals, well, if inflation comes back, that's what they'll say. Let me give you the other argument. Let's assume inflation doesn't come back and the U.S. keeps raising interest rates. What if you break out the bottom of this? You might say, everything went down. We'll find out which way. My job here is not to call the market for you. I do that in my daily videos. My job here is to point out what's going on, and that's what I see going on. The silver market is also pretty much of a sideways market. I think you can see that if you look at the Bollinger Bands. They really define what is going on. Momentum is up, just like GDX. See this? Look at how that pattern is. You came up to the 18 and the 100 day. The question is, in this one, can you take out 117.38 and a half to clear the road to try to get up to 1800? Don't know. What I do know at this point in time is the week's high was 1732 and a half, so the swing line is still down. It's got lower highs and lower lows. It's negated because prices are over the 18-week moving average of closes. The copper market seems to be the one market losing that punch to the upside. If you'll notice, the red line's starting to turn back down. The market spent 3 weeks now up at the upper Bollinger Band, and it acts like a market that wants to pull back a bit. What all of these markets need to do in the metals, it's set up a pattern that gives you, if they're going to trend to the upside, higher lows and higher highs. This market, because it's down right now, gives us the shot at that. In the platinum market, you got up and over this most recent high, which is pretty fascinating. You know, we keep hearing the death of platinum because diesel cars aren't going to be popular anymore. Palladium is the market that people like, and look at how it's been running to the upside. Heck of a gain. For the week, you're up in the platinum. Pretty good, though. $36. You're only up at this point $13 on the weekly chart in the palladium. The difference, though, is this has just kept itself over these averages and run, and that's the difference. In the dollar index, bearish, not bullish, bearish. Lower highs, lower lows, momentum still pointing down. Next target just might be the lower Bollinger Band. On rallies, I would expect to see the pros bearish against that 93.08 level, so things to watch. As we're talking, running to the upside in the stock indices, and Bitcoin, well, it hasn't made a new high since I'm on here, but, you know, close my eyes, turn around again, it probably will. Want to remind you about Modern Trader, and this is a big issue. This is the February issue if you don't have it. It talks about the forecast for 2018. It's going to give you a lot of trade ideas. Now, how it comes to you would be by email through modern trader. If you go to them direct, they're going to charge $79 a year for it, and you do get their daily publication as well. You get that from us the same way, and it comes through them for free. These are the stories that are covered. Managed futures basics, Delphi Automotive. No, it's not just futures markets. It's FX markets. It's ETFs. It's everything you can imagine. And trading ideas and learning how to trade with some of the basic fundamental ideas of charting. And then they take you to the more advanced ideas. So it really carries you one level through the other, but it's written in a way you can understand, and it's always, always cool with great graphics so you can understand what the writer's talking about. What about the dollar rebound in 2018? Well, right now it's falling. What about the bump and run strategy in slow stochastics? A strategy, I don't call it bump and run, but it's similar in concept to what we talk about. Then this is the daily market focus that comes into your mailbox every day with great news stories, things that make the market move. They're writing about that. You can get this by calling us, going to our website. You can click up here if you're watching me on YouTube, or underneath us. At any point, just say, you'll see it says, click here for Ira's free information. Do that, and I'll talk to you on Monday.